And welcome to class today. I hope your week has been very, very fruitful as mine has been. At least I'm getting better and better from my cold that have kept me, so much away. So today we'll be looking at so many things. We'll be looking at communication. We'll be looking at supervising. We'll be looking at delegation and then health and safety, because the truth is that I need to finish this your class to be able to focus on my MSCs, my MLR, my ELS, and other classes that MBA class has taken over from. So I need to round up because those ones have not been able to attend their classes also 6 to 8. So as much as we can, please let's run. That's why I can't wait for more than as I've waited for this evening class. So we'll start with communication. Organizations have their origins in communication or communication network, and that network will provide us the following. So for every organization, there is a communication network. Whether it's communication that is going to come from up, down, or down, up, or side, they are all having their origin from the place of work. And it provides us the following: the means for us to coordinate activities of individual employees and group of employees within an organization is what it does for us when we communicate. It also serves as a mechanism for us to direct the activities of the organization as a whole. So you are not just coordinating the activities of the individual or groups in that organization, you're also coordinating the activities or directing the activities of that your organization as a whole when you communicate. With your communication, you'll be facilitating the exchange of information in that your organization as much as possible. That's what you'll be doing when you communicate. And also with it, you won't be ensuring the flow of information between the organizations and the external environment where that organization exists. Because when we communicate, we also communicate to our customers, we also communicate to our clients. Whatever we do that will affect our environment where we live, we also let them know that this one is going to affect or is not going to affect, it's going to be positive for them. So it's not just about our people that work within our organization or our all activities of the organization, but also things that affect other people within our organization. That's why you see that sometimes organizations will put up adverts that they're doing this, be careful, don't pass that road or pass that road, as the case may be. You see every one of them putting up something that needs to be done in that particular organization. So there is actually no size of organization that doesn't have communication. Depending on the size, you can now say this is what I want to use as a means of communication. Some organizations will want the communication to be from downward. That's from the MDs down to the EDs, down until it gets to the cleaner. So that is the one we call the downward communication as a type of communication, or downward flow, message from downward message flow. Here the lines of information will flow from up management to the employees. Then you have the upward, where the line of information or message will flow from the employee up to the management team there. Then we have the horizontal. In the horizontal, all of us on that network of communication are the same level of authority within the organization, either in our unit or in our department or in our groups or in our divisions or in our regions, but we are all on the same platform or the same basis of levels of authority. And that's why you could see that there are different ways we can talk. When the boss is talking to me, it's not the same way he's going to talk to any other boss that is on his own level. And also when I'm talking to my boss, the way I will talk to my boss will be milder, with more diplomacy than the way I'm talking to my colleagues. When it's to my colleagues, it's like we are all pals, we are all equal, maybe in a playful manner. You can, whatever you're writing, you're going to make it to be more enjoyable, because those are your colleagues, they are the same level, everything. So there is no more much of trying to be too serious. Sometimes you can freestyle the communication with people on the same level with you. So whether you are using the upward or downward or the horizontal, all of them falls into the formal and informal, or the verbal and the non-verbal communication. And the verbal ones are the ones who say with our mouth, and then the informal one, those ones who write, maybe you write your query, you write your whatever, maybe memo or stuff. And then you have the non-verbal one, or non-formal one, that you don't write anything. But the non-verbal ones, those ones that maybe with your eye you're telling somebody sit down under the table in a meeting, somebody's tapping you to say don't talk. And then maybe, like when we are small, you go out with your parents, and nobody gives you food and you collect it anyhow. Once food is coming, you're already using your eye to look at your mother's eye to see, will she, if she just looks you the other way, nobody will tell you, borrow you sense to know that as that food is coming, you will not collect it except mommy says eat. Because once you eat it, what you are eating your intestine out when you get home. So you are very, very careful. So in the place of work also, those forms of communications are there. Sometimes you're in a meeting, some other bigger boss, maybe MD is talking, instead using eye to tell you to please hold your anger, hold your temper. Sometimes they're cutting you eyes to just cool down, calm down. Sometimes they're using their hand to do like this. They're not writing it, it's non-verbal, and then it's informal way of telling you calm down, hold yourself, and all those stuff. So those are the types of communication that we can have. Then our communication is expected to be very, very effective. There is no job that does not require some degree of communication skills. And communication skills are very, very core in our relationship with each other in the place of work or in the offices. So in organizations, the employee should be able to impart and receive information from each other, whether it is coming from the area of the technology or the area of face to face, where you facilitate meeting, you call people, they all sit down in a table to table, or they sit on that side, you sit on this side, whichever one. They are all forms of communication also. The one of online, where you need to discuss with partners, either you are using your Skype, you are using your Zoom, or your WhatsApp calls, but you are just talking. Or the one of phones, where you just use your phone to thank somebody, ask for support, and the rest, is a form of communication. It is expected that we do not miscommunicate at the place of work, because miscommunication will drive a whole lot of conflict and challenges in the workplace, especially when we know that in our workplaces there are different cultural, different working, different cultures and languages and perceptions, because we are all coming from different background, different ethnicity, different state. Even within the state, you find out that there are still some the way some people will speak. You say, this one is not. With some states, there are some languages, even when they're all looking like Igbo language or Yoruba language, some are thicker than the other, that you still have to strain your ear for you to hear. So those things are there. So if for any reason you miscommunicate in the workplace, somebody will think it's because I am not this. Somebody will think it's because I'm not from Imo, I'm not from Abia, I'm not from Lagos, or I'm not from Adamawa, I'm not from Zamfara. That's why they're talking like this. So you have to make sure that there is no miscommunication of any form in the workplace. Another thing is that we are not mind readers at any time, and we cannot read anybody's complex thoughts. So that's why we are saying communicate effectively with everyone that is working with you in the workplace. That way, you'll be able to make sure that you reduce conflict in the workplace when it comes to communication. So your communication is very, very essential and critical as a tool for you as the manager or as the management. You need effective communication. Therefore, the following are very, very essential if we want to achieve a persuasive and effective communication in the places where we work. One is that we must be very, very clear of what we want or what we need at that particular place you are passing that message. Either you are passing it through your memo or through your email or whatever form. Be very, very clear about what you want or what you need. Don't try to hide under anything. Don't try to skip off the meat of the matter that you want to talk about. Don't try to quote it in such a way that somebody will not. Some people will not want to state the purpose because they're afraid if I say it this way. But very, very clear. We're not saying say it in an insultive way, but clearly state out what is it that you want. If you want a car to move you to that, for maybe from Lagos to VI, state it that you need a car. If you want, if you need a cutlass or hoe, state it that you. So you have to be very, very clear about what you want when it comes to communication in the workplace. Also, you need to be clear about what you need to say or what need to be said. Anything you need to say, be clear about it. Say it the way you want it to be said, but not in a way that is going to be hurtful or harmful. What needs to be said, say it the way you don't try to keep quiet, not talk, or try to massage some egos. Then when you leave that place, you now start complaining, they did me this, they did me that. So but you were there in that meeting, why didn't you say it the way you should? Why are you trying to clap hand? Why are you trying to support what you know is harming or is hurtful to you? Boss, this thing you say, I think that if we do it this way, we'll have a better result than for you to go back and then you did not say anything or just say yes to every other thing that they said, that then you're not complaining. Then carefully choose your medium of communication. Am I going to write that thing I want to say? Maybe if I want to talk, they will not allow me to talk. You can put it in writing and then send it across that this is what you want to say. And then if it's a place that will allow you to talk, please do your conversation with whoever it is, but you must to choose the medium of how you want to communicate. Some people will not give you that chance of coming to them. Then communicate by sending an email. Some people want you to come and discuss with them what your problem or issue or your request is. Then those one you can go and have a face-to-face conversation with them. Then carefully choose the right platform that you want to use. Am I going to use an email? Do I text? If I text them, some people will feel it's insulting if you text them. So they will want you to, some people will feel it insulting if you call them. So you have to begin to ask yourself and be clear and intentional. The person I'm working with, what works for the person? If you feel that person feel that emails are better option for him, send that email across to that person. If it's phone call, send it across. If it is signs, some people you can give signs and they will understand. Then give those signs and the people will understand. So effective communication, if it is face to face, a typical example is when you want to have staff meetings or you want to give a talk to your staff. If it's online, when you want to discuss with business partners or you want to have a session with your service providers. If it is email, maybe when you want to say thank you or make a request. If it is phone, maybe you want to ask for additional a backup vehicle has broken down, or we need some money at this particular place, or you want to negotiate some things with some customers or clients, you can use your phone as the case may be. If you are using a face-to-face communication, there are certain skills I expect you to have. One of those skills is that you must have a good listening ear. You should be able, when you are communicating on face-to-face, try to understand and build on other people's contribution. In face-to-face conversations or communication, you can't make everything about you. You will start from the beginning. For the next 4 hours you are talking, other people have no platform to speak. You should be able to say, after you have said your own, listen to the other partner what he's saying, and then build on it. If it is something that you need to sieve, yes, out of the multitude of words, there's ones that are not necessary. You can sieve those ones off, take the meat, the one that is good, and then run along with it and begin to build some structures that you need for that your particular team. Then also be careful about non-verbal behaviors. You have to be very, very careful in your face-to-face. Pay attention to people's body language when you're talking to them, especially where we have so much cultural norms and values and behaviors. So if you're in the midst of elders and they have made you maybe in a board, you are the chairman, but all those ones are the balagbas. When you are talking, you begin to look at their face. So sometimes you have to put yes sir, even when you are still the chairman. Thank you, daddies, as I was saying formally, all those, because some of them will just fold hand and be looking at you, this small boy. So once they start folding their hand like this, you just know that you're crossing your boundary, you're talking to them. So watch out all those ones. Some of them will just be like this when you finish now. Some of them, there are all those things. So you have to watch out those body languages. Even if you're talking to your subordinate, when you begin to see those frustration, non-excitement in their face, is when for you to know that either I give them a break, You just have to observe it when you are doing your face-to-face conversation, or maybe what I'm saying is not entering, or what I'm saying is hurtful to them, so that you begin to change and then do something better than you are doing. Then you must also have before you think about communication, you must have some clarity and conclusion about what others need to know and how to communicate it to them. So I am coming to talk to you. I must have thought about it before coming, about what I want to say to you and how to say it. It's not that it's when you gather people you now start boom boom boom. You have not thought about the other people, because the other people's feeling, the other people's emotion, the other people's other, is also part of it when you are doing that your communication. So please, before communicating, think about what other people need to know from you and how you communicate it, and that's the best way that you can put it to them, and they will understand and they are not hurt. Another thing you need to do in face to face is empathy and respect. When you're talking to people on face to face value, please try as much as you can to make them feel comfortable to speak out their own mind also and share their feelings. If it's time, not when somebody raises his hand to talk, say please bring it down. You belittle them as much as you can to make them feel that they are nothing, they have no place in that place, and meanwhile you have gathered them as a team. Like I keep saying, if there is no need for them to be on that table with you, you cannot allow them to talk, then there's no need calling for that face-to-face meeting. Put everything in a memo, send it to them. They are your subordinates, especially if you are the one that is up there. They are your subordinate. Pass it to them. Let them just go and implement what you have passed. But when you bring people together and then we're having a meeting of face to face and somebody wants to talk and you don't want the person to talk, you are hurting the person's ego. You are hurting the person's emotion and the person's feeling. Yeah, you don't have empathy towards them. So you must create that space where other people will feel comfortable. Then there must be context and medium. What do I mean by that? Consider where and how appropriate to communicate that information or that message to that people. Do I do it on 101 where, okay, this person doesn't like to be insulted outside? What do I do? Let me bring him to my space and speak to that person. Okay, I can bring you to my space just by phone call. I'm still within my space, not that person hears. I can say, okay, follow me to my office in person. Then I can talk to you on 101. If the person doesn't mind and we can talk in public and the person doesn't take it to heart, you can also, that's you thinking about it. You can also bring the person and say what you want to say in the open. Or maybe you want to give it as a message or a text or this thing. But you must consider the context of what you want to say and the medium through which you want to pass, so that you don't hurt people in your communication in the workplace. Some people will react when you just I so for somebody like me, open insult, I take it to a little bit to the other side. I will prefer you bring him into inside, say all you want to say. I won't even answer. I will keep on apologizing. But if you gather, sometimes as bosses we don't even know where to say it. Maybe downstairs and you are the MD, the other person is a senior manager, just in front of security and everything, customers. You are there lambasting the person. They're killing all the ego and self-respect that other people, because once you do that, even the customers will not have regard for that particular person again. So please choose your context, choose your medium, and then speak to people as much as you can. So under the same face-to-face, in your active listening, which is part of your communication, please try to rate yourself. Even as we are in this class, rate yourself. Do I actively listen as a manager? If for any reason you are rating yourself as you are seated in this class and it is not up to 50 to 70 to 80, 90, then you need to begin to do some of these things to take yourself back to where you'll be able to listen to people that you are talking to, even you that is a subordinate. If for any reason you cannot listen attentively to that boss, because some of us too, before the boss will talk one, we have talked 10, we are all guilty of it. You already made up your mind that today I want to go and answer him and give him woto woto. If you cannot, for your own rating, you see that you have this issue, then you need to look at some of these things I will say now and begin to rework towards you being a better listener. From the management part of aspect, or the manager's part of supervisor's aspect, please try and create that condition for other people to be heard. Do not keep people waiting. Do not frustrate them when they want to talk. Do not make them believe that what they want to say is not valuable to you. Do not make them to think that they're stupid by talking. So create that condition where they will talk. Also seek to know and learn more from other people too. As a manager, your job is to collect as much information as possible and then evaluate those information. So seek also to know from them. And you can only seek to know from somebody when you listen to that person's side of the story. If you want to get information from me, you need to listen to me. If you don't want to get information, only you will talk, I'll keep quiet. So if you want to get information, you have to be an active listener towards the other person that is your subordinate. You too, as a subordinate, you must also be an active listener if you want to grab as many knowledge, as many things you need to get from your boss also. And then for you to also be a good listener, we'll ask you also to come to the place of asking good questions. Possibly you are the kind of person that you have itching ear, you don't want to hear people. You could also try to or maybe you are there and the people don't want to talk, because sometimes we're in a meeting, you ask anybody to talk, everybody just keep quiet, nobody want to talk out of either fear or whatsoever. You can use a good ask good questions to use to elicit information from them, and those questions should be open-ended, where you can say, I gave you a job on Friday. I expected that job to be done on Monday, to be submitted with report on Monday. What happened? And the person says, "Sir, I finished that job on Friday, but I couldn't write my report because as the rain came, and I had to rush home. And the process, I was beaten, and then I have flu, so I couldn't write the report over the weekend." And then you now go ahead. Are you better now? Are you willing to write? Because if we don't write that report and submit it this week or today, that is Thursday, we are going to lose that particular business, and it's going to cost us money. And the person goes on to tell you, "Okay, sir, I'm going to write it. Just give me at the end of the day, I'll come up with something that you could." You then go back to say, "Okay, I expect to have your report on my table before the end of Thursday." And then the person says, "Okay, sir, thank you." You saw that from there, you have elicited from him that he has done the work. What is left is report writing. So as those ones that cannot talk, you can use open-ended question to get information from them. It may not be about work, it may be about resources, it may be about machine, whatever it is. What happened? Why is this machine not working? What did you keep asking question upon question, and they begin to talk. Otherwise, if you just enter and they will all keep quiet, nobody want to answer. Another thing under the face-to-face that you can also use for you to be an active listener is to have respect for other people's feeling. When I am talking to you and you are fiddling with your phone and you are not looking up, it tells me that you are not listening. So what makes me feel that you are listening is the respect you have for me. So you could also put it there. But if it becomes necessary that you need to either use that phone, maybe it's the MD that is sending something to you or the chairman and you need to reply, what do? When I finish talking, try to summarize what I have said by saying, I understand what you are saying. From what you are saying, I gathered that those reports are not yet ready because you are sick over the weekend and now you are better, that before the end of the day, I will have it. Thank you, job well done. So the person know that you followed, though we are using your phone to do some other thing else. So that person will next time want to talk. That shows that you're an active listener, as the case may be. So as a good listener, also, you must be able to state your position and then outline your supporting arguments. You that is a good listener, because listening alone does not do the magic alone. So in the place of listening, you should also, under your face-to-face conversation, try as much as you can to state your position and then outline every supporting argument that you have. So if it is you that is subordinate, sir, this is why I was not able to do this job. I was sick, I was in the hospital, and then I was discharged on Sunday evening. By Monday, I needed to rest. I just resumed work on Wednesday, but I tell you that my work will be done because just the report that is left. So you have marshaled out, you have stated your position, and you have marshaled out your arguments on why and what. So if it is the boss also, you are supposed also to state your position and marshal it with your argument, not just about listening. And also as a boss, you need to be as much assertive as the case may be and have as much data under your control, so that by the time you are talking with facts, and those ones that are listening to you know that yes, this boss has the idea of what he's saying what he knows. And you too that is going to your boss, you want to go and communicate, go with as much fact as possible. If it is a fact about recruitment, I've recruited this number of people, yes, 2 people has left us, but out of the 20, 18 is still with us. So you go with that fact, let them know that you know what you are doing, and make in also face-to-face communication. Another thing that will work for you is make some deals. So when you allow other people to talk, you pick up some things and you make some deal, you shift ground, they shift ground, especially if it's where there is union and you needed to talk. Shifting ground, like now that we are doing our minimum wage negotiation, you need to shift ground, and once you have shifted that ground and make those deals, please, it's expected that you must close that deal. Whatever agreement that you have reached must be implemented as the case may be. So in your face to face, you can use your logic, your persistence, your personal enthusiasm to get others do work. But now that is not just the only thing that will help you to get other people do the work. For you to get other people buy into your idea and do the work as a manager, as the case may be, you have other things that you need to put in place, and those things being that you must be able to compromise, you must have you must be open-minded, so that other people, when they are talking, you don't already judge what it should be, or already you have already made up your mind. You should be open-minded, so that from there you can take some things that need to be taken. You must not be dogmatic, as the case may be. You must adjust your views. If you see that these people have superior argument, adjust your views to align. You must also establish credibility from what you are saying. Don't try to make your case up front. You're already anticipating that I'm going to meet a hard people, so I must be hard to sell. I must what I'm going to put in front must be. No, that should not be the case. You must have that character of integrity. You must also have the character of being an expertise on that thing that you want, that you're going to discuss. You must have good relationship also, so that the people that you are going to talk with, you're not coming with war. They're not seeing you as an enemy that is coming with so much war to fight. So you will not be able to place it on the table, and they will know. You must also be honest and reliable, because if we are communicating in any form and I find out that you are not honest, it's going to affect me. Please, I'm in a class, wherever, we'll talk later. Thank you. We found out that it's going to affect you as the case may be. So you need to be reliable. So people say, okay, he has said this, he's going to do it. We have agreed on this, he hears me. So you must also be trustworthy. You must be supporting. You must be somebody that can build people's confidence. And then emotional intelligence is very, very important. That being people smart when it comes to communication, putting other people's feeling, being able to control your own emotion and control other people's emotion is also what is needed if you must have a face-to-face, because some people will be out there to annoy you. That's the case when you're communicating, when you're calling for that staff meeting, when you're sending out those memos. There are people that are already waiting for you to just make it, and then they'll come with war. So you must have those emotional intelligence there. But in it all, I would say you should please reduce as much as possible that your emotional persuasion, so that people don't start doubting your headedness in that conversation. So don't try to so much appeal to people's emotion at every time. Try as much as you can to reduce it, so that they don't start doubting he's coming. He just want to come and shed tears and crocodile tears, and then thinking that we all adjust, I'll do this thing. So sometimes you could put up those, especially if you are hot. But if there is no need for it, there is no need at every meeting you're the person crying and everybody is trying to have pity party. After some time, nobody will want to. They are just coming there with defense that they can't take it again from you. So play down on those emotions that you have when it comes to face-to-face communication, and ensure you meet your people that are communicating with on 101 basis. And if it is technology, for example, that you are going to use, I would say the following is what you need to do when it comes, whether you are using your SMS, you are using your Facebook, you are using your WhatsApp, or your Viber, or your Line, or other communication testing platforms. Please, the following is what we expect you to do, as the case may be. Try as much as you can to avoid the being in the place where your phones or those things will be so much bustling that you don't have any other thing to do when it comes to those ones. Let's say it's in the evening, you are going home, you can take that phone home and find another place to put it, so that it can be in vibration or whatever, turn off or whatever you want to put it, or a flight mode, so that you too can have a good sleep and a good rest. Otherwise, these are phones, and this thing will not allow you to do anything. And then let also your team know that there is no immediate response, that at any particular time that they can, but they must make sure that they reply you on good time. But it is not that once it's coming like that, buzzing like that, then you must go. it will not be too healthy for you as a person, and it may not be too healthy to your work, because it becomes a distraction if at every time you pick it. That's why most times when I'm in the class, being a coordinator of a program, most people are calling. This person that is calling now is for the part-time ELS, so they too need their class. So if I keep on picking it, you find out that there will be so much distraction in this class. So that's why I just have to. I wanted to even not answer, but I mistakenly clicked. That's why I said I am. So please try as much as you can to turn it off, or put it on your turn off and not received, so that later you can read the messages and answer. It is your right as a person to choose whether you can allow an outsider have access to your email or your phone. Especially these types of hacking and the rest. When it comes to communication, be careful about who you are communicating on those social media apps, as the case may be. And then if it is on your emails, these are some of the few things I want you to know when you are writing your emails. When you're writing your emails, please try as much as you can to keep your messages to the point. You know, do summarize. Don't carry so much into your email. You see some people in email, they, instead of them to go straight to what they want you to do for them, you see so much story before you even get to where you will not see. You'll be asking, where is the thing you want me to do? A student that have not been on project, that have left project writing, you want to come back to project writing, because if the person will come with so much stories about family, spouse issues, office challenges, at the end of the day, there's nothing. The person is coming from that side of, this is my problem. And I begin to ask, what exactly do you want me to do? Because you have told me all the history about every other thing without telling me, okay, I'm coming back to the project. This is the time. This is what I'm going to send to you for me to know that you are serious about coming back. So at the end of the day, you find out that I just keep sending back message. What do you want me to do for you? So are you ready to come back? But all the messages, you find out that there is nothing there for the person. So when you are writing, please go straight to the point. Keep your message to the point. Another thing, do not write so much for less. Don't kumba about everything that has no meaning to that particular message that you are using. You can help yourself by using bullets, using headers, writing short paragraphs. That will be very, very helpful for you when you are doing your emails, as the case may be. Avoid the use of caps, because so many people will now, it is a distraction when you have your message, a full scrap sheet of message, and everything is capital letters all through. It doesn't help. Or some people will come to the email that are using emojis, love, kisses. It is a distraction. Or you are going to use colored text or abbreviations. Is it mean that you expect to go and know that IG means Ignatius, or Keneko means this? So IG can mean Inspector General. So I cannot come and start interpreting it for you from a name to a position. So you should try to avoid those things that become a distraction when it comes to your emails, as the case may be. Push out those things that are supposed to be very, very relevant. Also, try as much as you can to proofread everything you have written. And if you are seriously in at work and you cannot, before you send that message that will be going to either your boss or your MD or chairman, or that report that is, please look at it as many times as possible. If you are engaged and you cannot, because sometimes you find out that all your T's are not crossed, some sentences are not making sense. Sometimes if you're not careful, because of the way the message they sent to you came, you may write out of anger some of the things you're not supposed to say to your boss. You have already put it down. Once you forward it, you cannot retrieve it back. So I would advise that you allow it to cool a little. Maybe when you stop that your anger, or when you stop that your work, you can read through to say, is there any grammatical error? Okay, let me correct it. It may be, you can put it in your draft folder and then go back to it after some hours to check on it. Or also, you can also go back to say, let me read this thing again and see the powerful message I'm going to send. So if you now see that, sometimes you find that after you begin to, I want to put this one, I want to put this one, and then the damages have been done. So if you have sent immediately, but once you cool down again to look at it, you begin to see where points that are not supposed to be points are taken away, and everything will flow smoothly for you, as a person, as a case may be. So these are some of the things you need to have under your what do you call it, under your email and under your phones. And this, whether you're using any of these form of communication, from your Instagram to your Facebook to your Twitter, or just your S to whatever, or your Mixlr or whatever it is, please just try as much as you can to use all that I've said, and you find out that you'll be safe when it comes to communication, as the case may be. So that's where we'll stop that one, so that I can do the next one for you, and then we'll move ahead for those of you that ask for the recording to be made. Thank you.